Dairy farming has experienced major improvements over the years as more farmers continue realizing the importance of looking for better ways to improve their farming skills and yields. These efforts have in turn propelled the dairy industry to new heights. Today's Dairy Farming Show comes to you from Kisii County at Joseph Orina's farm in Nyakoe sub-county. Come along as you explore his farm.
I'm a businessman and I have a passion in farming, so that's why you see what you're seeing here. It's my passion and I like it. You know, as a businessman, this is more of a business. So in Kisii, I saw there is a big gap in terms of milk. Kisii town used to get milk from Bomet County, so it's a gap. We just been there. So we decided to bridge that gap. Having a passion in farming, that is dairy farming, so I decided to venture into that business. The farm is now 1.5 years old. Currently, I have 13 cows. Those are milking cows, and 8 heifers. So in total, the farm has 21 cows. And currently, I'm producing averagely 190 liters of milk per day.
Joseph, a medical engineer by profession, mainly rears dairy cattle. He first started his herd by purchasing 3 Frisian cows from Nakuru-based Kenana Farm.
We started small. I started with 3 cattle, and those were lactating. And 1 cow was producing averagely 26 liters. So after bringing them in my farm, this encouraged me. In fact, I was selling milk. And then I was like, where can I get more milk to sell? So this has encouraged me.
After the demand for milk grew and Joseph's 3 herds could no longer sustain his clientele, he then decided to expand his business as he narrates.
It made me to work hard. So gradually I've been increasing the cows. After Njoro, I went to Githunguri and I brought in 4 cows. Then I've been adding them gradually till now they are 13 in number. So the heifers we are talking about, all of them are born in this farm. So the first batch, I might serve them in this year, December. So from there, I'll start producing my own cows.
After increasing his herd, Joseph was advised to improve his breed to Holstein Friesians, which is another dairy cattle breed. They are famed for their large dairy production, averaging 22,530 liters of milk per year.
The breed we are doing here is Friesian Holstein. These are pure Friesian Holstein. Like in our business, the Friesians have more milk than these other cows. You know, compared to Asha, they produce more milk.
A good Holstein Friesian has distinctive black and white markings on its coat, though a few cows have white or red markings. The markings usually exhibit a spotted pattern. Mature cows usually weigh between 500 to 650 kilograms and stand at 4.8 feet tall at the shoulder. They have short horns and are humpless. Out of the 5 most desired dairy breeds, that is Ayrshire, Guernsey, Jersey, Holstein Friesian and the Brown Swiss, the Holstein Friesian produces the highest amount of milk per lactation. A pedigree cow produces between 8,500 and 10,000 kilograms of milk per year. Good Holstein Friesian cows have been recorded to have between 12 and 15 lactations. Though its milk production is high, a Holstein Friesian's milk has the lowest butterfat and protein content when compared with the other 4 major breeds. Something Joseph refutes, saying it all depends on the kind of feeds and supplements that a farmer gives to his dairy cattle.
With proper feeding from the Friesians, you get more milk and quality milk. So the story of people saying that Ayshires have, the milk is more watery than the Ayshires, it's not true.
When it comes to feeding of his herd, Joseph explains that apart from the common hay and napier grass that is usually given to all cattle, he also feeds his cattle with commercial feeds such as dairy meal, which he formulates personally.
I've tried to buy dairy meals from the agrovet, but I found it so expensive. Currently, I do my own dairy meal. I have a formula for the same. And when I do my dairy meal, I'm sure that all the ingredients I mix myself, so the cows get all the ingredients. Unlike the one which I buy in the shop, I'm not sure where it was mixed, who mixed it, and whether it meets that standards. Because like the proteins we give the animals, talk of cotton, seed cake, the soya, and the sunflower. These are expensive. So for somebody who is out there to make money, might decide to omit this protein which makes the cow look healthy and produce more. So on the feeds, we mix like 6. We do wheat bran, wheat bollard, maize germ, that is carbohydrate. And then proteins now we have sunflower, cotton seed cake, and soya. Then others, what we bring in is just minerals, talk of the salts. We have salts which fatten the cows. We have the salts which increases milk. Yeah, and the concentrates. That's all we do.
Joseph mainly feeds his cattle twice a day. He says he usually mixes all the concentrates with the green matter before feeding it to the cattle.
When we bring in the forage now, which is napier grass, there is hay, there is silage, we mix. Everything we weigh in kilos. Because like now, when we bring in the napier grass, the hay, and the silage, we do like 20 kg. Then we mix with 4 kg of the dairy meal. Then we mix, we give to the cows. So you find that they feed so fast. So in less than an hour, a cow is full. The only work which is left is just to drink water and rest into the cud so that it can make a lot of milk.
Unlike most farmers who prefer to feed the dairy cattle when milking is being done, Joseph suggests that it is better to milk the cattle first before feeding is done.
This depends with the farmer. But to me, I discourage feeding cows while milking. So once you miss that dairy meal, you know this cow will not cooperate to be milked. All the time the mind is at the dairy meal. So for my case, when milking we don't give any supplements like dairy meal or anything. We milk, when we feed them, that's when we give them those supplements. And they're used to that. And the feeding we do here, the cows feed around 1 hour. Because in the morning, if we put the foods on the traps at around 6, by 7 you find that all the animals are full and they are resting. Now, if I get a cow which maybe was trained differently, maybe a farmer was giving it dairy meal while milking, to me now it has to cope with my farm. Because one, I believe it's a culture. You know, animals, these are like human beings. They behave like human beings. So gradually, you train it. So if you don't give it that dairy meal while milking, it will get used with time because it's in the company of other cows. So, and what we give them while feeding, mixing those 20 kg of dry mother and 4 kg of the dairy meal, you know, it mixes evenly. So you find that this food which is they are taking, it's more sweeter than maybe giving plain dairy meal. And then everything which we put on the traps, the whole of it is consumed. So there is minimal wastage when we do that.
Joseph continues to explain that it is important for a farmer to weigh the amount of food he or she gives a cow depending on the cow's weight.
In the morning, after milking, for the 10 milking cows, we do around 150 kg. So the 150, we make sure that by 8, everything is finished. Then we do an extra of 50 kilos. The 50 kilos now, we divide them in all these traps. Maybe the cow, after resting, it feels like eating, so that the 50 will sustain them till evening when we give enough food.
From his feeding method, Joseph says he gets close to 210 liters of milk per day. This earns him close to 390,000 Kenya shillings per month.
Currently, I'm doing 190 liters per day. At one moment, I went up to 210 liters. But now, as you saw, there are some challenges. One of my cattle got sick, and in fact, 2. So the 20 liters dropped. But I hope to go back to 210 per day.
Apart from giving proper feeds, It is also important to construct an appropriate shade for your cattle to eat and rest. Joseph is in the process of constructing a modern structure for his cattle. He says he prefers using the metallic structures as compared to wooden assemblies.
I have visited so many farms from Nakuru, Central Province, Rift Valley. Then I decided to do the modern structure, which is metallic, and the feeding traps, you see they are concrete. Then we have water traps, which are ceramic. They look neat. It's easy to maintain, though it's expensive, but it makes the farm look neater and easy to maintain.
Joseph started with a wooden structure. He was, however, frustrated with maintaining the farm's cleanliness as well as having to repair the shed on a regular basis.
The cost is not that expensive because if you compare the wooden ones and the metal ones I've done here, this one we reduce what we call mastitis. In most cases, mastitis is brought by maybe when you are milking, you don't finish that milk from the cow. And then there is the issue of hygiene. Hygiene can bring about mastitis. So if you compare the cost at the long run, this one being neater and easy to maintain, you can have the wooden ones. But say you have like 5-10 cows, and 5 cows fall sick of mastitis. So there's a higher cost of treating those cows, unlike the metal ones.
Stay with KTN Farmers TV for more on dairy farms still to come.